Mzwanele Manyi speaks for the Jacob Zuma Foundation, having briefed the media on the route the former head of state is likely to pursue, and he joins me now. Mr. Manyi, thank you very much for your time. It's still a long road towards that day in court former President Jacob Zuma wants, it would seem, because as far as he is concerned, it turns on whether you successfully get Downer out of the way. You heard Mtunzi there saying that they're ready, the witnesses are ready, they're ready to play ball in court tomorrow. So how do you see this playing out, especially given that Mr. Zuma will call for a postponement, or his legal team will ask for a postponement?
Yeah, good evening, Iman. I think NPA must accept that it actually lacks credibility as an institution. The fact that Gerinel, who you spoke to just before me here, has got a thriving enterprise is because the NPA is very shoddy in its work. So when the NPA says whatever it says, people can't take that seriously. It's just their opinion, and their opinion can always be challenged. Like Gerinel has been challenging it, so we're just doing exactly the same. What they are saying lacks merit. What they are saying lacks all what it takes for a proper scrutiny. As it will never pass proper scrutiny. So for us, as the Jacob Zuma Foundation, we are fully behind His Excellency President Zuma to make sure that justice must not only be done, but must be seen to be done. All that President Zuma really wants is a fair trial, fair conditions for trial, no prosecutor with a questionable bias should preside over this matter. Right. So really that's really our issue.
I mean, we'll get back to the issue of the NPA in just a moment, but back to that question around how you foresee it playing out. They're ready to go. Is there a possibility this postponement might not be granted? What is the legal team saying?
Yeah, we don't want to preempt what the judge is going to do, but all indications are that there is just enough, more than enough, for a postponement to be granted. One, you've got this very issue. We've got the fact that now the decision has been taken by President Zuma to make sure that Downer is privately prosecuted, number one. Number two, as we speak here and now, it's not an if or whatever. As we speak here and now, the legal team of His Excellency President Zuma has already filed at the Supreme Court of Appeal. As I'm talking to you now, most probably the Judge President is looking at the papers. So you can't have a situation where the Judge President is looking at the papers on the one hand, but we are still doing the case on the other. So with those two things, they are weighty enough for the judge to grant this postponement.
The criticisms you made about the NPA, of course, that's within the NPA's purview to defend or to counter that. But coming back to the NPA itself, so you're asking for Downer to be removed, and you said earlier today, if that happens, the trial will start yesterday. However, Mr. Manyi, it doesn't remove the deep suspicion, you've just re-articulated it now, that the team and Mr. Zuma has of the NPA itself. So, if, let's say, for example, Billy Downer is not there, it still doesn't, it doesn't, I mean, how credible then is it that promise that the trial will go ahead and there'll be no other delays if Billy Downer is out of the way?
Put us to the test. Put us to the test, remove Downer and see what happens. It's really that simple, because that's all we've been talking about. Just remove Downer, and then voila. The trial starts. It's really that simple. This is why for us we think that it is the state that is busy delaying this matter. Because if the state was serious, the state must stop insulting the rest of the other prosecutors. It cannot be that the state is hanging on for dear life on a retiree prosecutor. This guy is retired as well. You're holding somebody from retirement when you've got so many prosecutors. Why don't they just put a Jacob or whoever to prosecute this thing? Why is it so complicated? So we just don't understand this. So for us, we are very firm that Downer's hands are not clean, and therefore we do not want a poisoned tree, because we don't want fruits from a poisoned tree. Right. So we're going to insist until justice is not only done, but seen to be done.
Unfortunately, Mr. Manyi, I don't wear the robes, so it's not up to me to decide. As you say, you know, the promise is clear in terms of what Mr. Zuma is likely to do if Billy Downer is no longer the lead prosecutor. Thank you for your time this afternoon. Much appreciated. Spokesperson for the Jacob Zuma Foundation, Mzwanele Manyi.